When I go to bed, I have dreams about home. Yeah. Next day when I get up, I'm an American, and a Lebanese American. I'm more American than any American in this country. I'm right here. Not going anywhere. I don't have to have the cane next to me, so. Well, I'm Nabila Najar, Nabila Majid Najar. It's written two ways, but it's Nabila. And the meaning of it, see, names back home in the Arab world is just every name they give you, it had a meaning. Nabila, it means intelligent. I don't believe I'm that intelligent, to tell you the truth, but...
What is it that all your grandkids and great-grandkids call you?
Sittu.
And what does this name mean?
It's a grandparent. There's someone they call it the grandma. They call it city. Sittu is for city. City, Sittu. That's what our kids choose in this country, but it is Sittu back home. All of them had a language for it, yeah. It's in every country. That's all that I remember.
Sure. Yeah.
My aunt, auntie, and I don't know. I mean, I've been here too long, honey, 72 years. It's a long time. And you ask me if I'm more American or Lebanese. Lebanese is my blood, but I think I'm happy to be here. That's all there is to it. I was born 1931 in Zibdin, Lebanon. It was a small town. We have two churches, two Catholic, one church and another Presbyterian. We were five of us, 5 girls and 2 boys.
What languages is mainly spoken in Lebanon?
Arabic and French. French, they teach that in school because we have Catholic school. And the sister came from France. In school, all we have French and Arabic. We have to be in school, we have to do the Arabic and the English. The history was all in Arabic. I learned French and I read French. I still remember part of the language. And I watch movies, I recognize it very well. French became very easy for me to learn the English. My cousin, he was a professor at the university there. And he always got English magazine. I look at them, it's the same thing, but they don't pronounce the same. My mother and dad never went to school. We didn't live on a farm. We had a lot of property. My aunt had a lot of property next to our house. Our house was built over 100 years ago. Our family stayed in the same house next to their uncle. And my father's uncle lived to be 107. But he was bedfast. He was a very religious man. He started having his teeth coming back. His hair started turning black. One day I lost my shoes and I thought the gypsies stole them when I was in Lebanon. And I looked for my shoes. There was very beautiful shoes, white and brown. And I look for them. I said, the gypsy took them because she came to the back door. A few days later, I was running the sweeper and I found it. Anyhow, everything we raised, we ate what we raised. And we buy the wheat and bring it home. And we had a mill in town. That's where they grind the food. They grind it for wheat. And they will bring the wheat, the flour to the house. And like 25-pound flour we make every week. We raised everything. And we have lots of grape orchard and figs. Whereas we have one walnut tree only. And that's on a hill away from the house when the English army came through. My uncle, he went talk to them, and they promised him they won't, do anything harmful. They didn't harm the grape or anything. They want a place to stay. But man, you could hear them coming through. They were marching with their horses and carriages and all that. Well, my father has a donkey. We have a piece of property way away. They call it sign of property. It was for his grandfather. We have a lot of fig trees there, and about this year, they already planted the onion and the garlic and the potato. They're already up because it's so low, and it doesn't get that cold there. And I had a donkey with one eye. And going there, the road is very narrow. With that donkey, you know how to get there, never got to the end and fall. He always went and come back with my father. Well, that donkey know where he's going. He got used going on the blind eye toward the hill, and they're coming back the good eye on the other side. But he remembered where he's going. He never skipped a place. That's my father was so safe with him. I don't know how they made it. He never got hurt going back and forth, never fell or hurt himself. My father never had a doctor. Only the time he opened the cabinet that Saturday morning, and he saw a dynamite, 3 little pieces like this. He used those when he dug the water line underground. We had water. We're the only people in town who had their own water. He said, "What, that look rusted?" He took a little piece of, and he said, "I think I'm gonna just," he took his plier, and he went 1, 2, 3, and that thing exploded. Took his 3 fingers. If we knew better to go, when the wind was 90 feet high from the ground, where he was standing, doing it, if we know we could pick those fingers and save them till the doctor got in, we could have kept them. We didn't know. We didn't know nothing. It was just the biggest thing ever happened in town. Nothing ever happened like that. Oh, my daddy wants to save his dynamite pieces for another job, I guess. He took the rust off of it while he took his fingers out. That's how we made our money. From the grapevines, they sell them once a year, they make syrup out of. And when the grape has ripened, and they pick them the end of July or August, and people come and buy them. And what we don't sell, they used to make syrup out of them. What money made from the vegetable and what Daddy used to work on the wood and cut it and sell it on the pine trees, went to buy things we need. My dad used to go to Beirut, buy rice and sugar, and buy something else we really need bad, and give my uncle's wife the money. Life wasn't easy. It was very rough. But we didn't go hungry. You know how the silk got in the country? The nun brought the seed. It's a little tiny seed like celery seed in their canes. They brought it with them because it wasn't permitted to get them out of France. So they brought those home. And in the spring, the worms, like they do here, they go in a cocoon, come out. They start coming out. They start growing out, little tiny ones. What we do, we go and pick the leaves from mulberry trees. We have all kind of it. The only thing we use their leaves, we put them upside down and they crawl on them. And then once they're growing, they start eating it. You could hear them going. eating. It's like a music when they're eating. What we do, you have to build a scale in the shelves. And the trays on the shelf made out of the strings we take off the cocoon. See, you peel the one, you have to trim them. And what you trim, the branches down, you peel them like a cover over them. We'll peel that. I have cocoon. You want me to show you?
In a bit.
Okay, I'll show you that next time. And then it takes 40 days from the day they come out, start coming out of the seed till the day they're finished. Once they're cocoon grown and they're already dead, they take those branches down and we'll pull the cocoon off of them. They have a brush and you start, when the cocoon in the hot water, you start brushing them. Certain time, you could see the silk start growing on them. And we have like a party. The neighbor come and help. We'll put all that cocoon out. And mommy make a breakfast for us. And what they do, they put that in 50-pound bales, you know. And people come in and bid on them and buy them.
How long did you live in Lebanon?
I was 19. I was 19 years old, dressed up and waited a hole under the hallways wall. And I looked out. He come the taxi driver. I said, Mama, here they come. Somebody else looking for a bride. Eddie and his family came with the engagement. Well, no, I was in the kitchen all day cooking. In 90 degrees, I made the 2 cakes and I cooked a big dinner. I never got to eat or sit down with them. Well, everybody ate and I don't know what they did after that. Anyhow, I went to my room and got dressed and everybody started coming in, most of the family. And they brought the engagement box. I mean, it's lovely. They bought it from Beirut. These people are known. I can't remember their name now. Anyhow, I had everything, and makeup and the ring and everything. But you know, I was allergic to that stuff. After we got married, Eddie had to go make a paper for me and send them here. We have to go to the embassy, Beirut. Beirut is the capital. I was there, we were like 9 months before we came to America. It took that long, but everybody else, the one got married like we did with the young men. We saw them at the embassy, they came ahead of us. And
Did you fly or take a boat?
no, we came on the Atlantic. It was a tourist ship. It stopped first when we got on the boat after we got married. We stopped at Alexandria. We spent 2 days, 3 days there. We got, the first time I went to a zoo and I saw the monkeys and everything. They used to come home at the gypsy and bring a monkey that dance. They go from house to house. We came to America. We stopped at Alexandria for 3 days. We got to see the country. And then from there, we stopped in Italy. We got to see all those people, you know, they have art and all that. And from there, we went to Lisbon. Would you believe it there? There was wood fire to run their taxis. After the war, there were no gas. From there, we kept going for 4 days. We stopped at Halifax, Canada. And from there, we went to America. We got to America, it was May 10th. In the morning, red day like that, but it was foggy, you couldn't see anything.
What year?
1951.
And where did you come in America? Was it New York or?
Yeah, New York. And we had to come through everything like they did before us.
Was it Ellis Island?
No,
Oh.
that Ellis Island was out then. But we have to go through everything. They took my American Lebanese passport, you know. That was my birth certificate. I didn't get it back. And another thing, We went through it good. It was so foggy I couldn't see. I see two people so far away. Finally, when we start moving, I noticed a man and a woman. Mahani was there, my sister, and her husband, Hassan. I recognized Mahani wearing a jacket like the one she's made one for me too and sent it to me. Exactly like her.
What did you think when you arrived at New York? I mean, compared to leaving Lebanon, where you'd grown up, what were your first thoughts when you arrived in America?
Honey, it was okay. We're still in a dream, you know, like you pick me out of Cabin Creek and you throw me somewhere else. I mean, you can explain it, but I was so thrilled to see my sister. And they took us around town. They took us to the Statue of Liberty, but we couldn't go up because I was 6 months pregnant and it was raining. They were working on it too. I didn't go up. From there, Hassan took us on around, show us the city, my brother-in-law, and he took us to Chinatown. If you love someone, don't take them to Chinatown, even when they're pregnant. That is the worst place to take anybody. I don't know what we ate lunch, if we went to the Chinese or somewhere else. It'd been so long ago. But we didn't stay too long in New York. We drove to Carbondale, Pennsylvania, where my sister lived. We drove in the dark in some town. There was a light in a gas station. They woke the man up, and he came out to take care of the car. I was so tired, sleepy. They put me in some couch in the back. While he got the car fixed, and we got out and drove till in the morning. We got to Mullins in the morning. Oh my God. It was Mullins, West Virginia. They call it the black gold country. It was a black gold those days.
Did you know that you were coming to West Virginia?
No, I'm just coming to America.
And what were your impressions of West Virginia? What did you think once you got here?
I was very disappointed. The town, you know, to me, I didn't say anything to anybody. I mean, here, leaving my family in my beautiful town, it was a real beautiful town. I mean, you got out in the evening with your friends and walk on that road with the pine trees around you and inhaling this beautiful smell every evening. And
you went to Mullins, which was more of a coal town, right?
Yeah, coal town. It was, you know, just houses on one side and houses on the other side, a train behind them, and the railroad was behind the house. And they came to choo, 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 choo. It was a mining town. Cars going back and forth. There were 4,000 people in that mine working. But everybody was kind and helpful. It was a small town. When I used to go down the grocery store, I would need some cotton. I told him I need coton. And the owner of the store, he said, "You mean you want cotton?" He was such a nice man. And his family always came and looked after me and helped me. They were so nice to me. I mean, everybody was kind. You could go anywhere with a quarter those days. It was a little hard to be by yourself in this country. And on that radio was a little old black thing. I don't know, it must be left in the apartment. And all I could get on that station, some old preacher on Sunday in the hills. And well, I kept it on because somebody talking, because you're home by yourself with a little boy. And it was just, Eddie leave 8:30 and go to work and come back 1 in the morning. That was my life.
So how long did you all stay in Mullins before you left there?
1953 we moved here. Yeah, he worked at a restaurant in Mullins till they have a stroke. I mean, a strike. When the old man went and started having machinery and let everybody off. And then the business dropped. there's a lady over there, Lebanese, and she was talking to me and said, Eddie, my son have a restaurant in West Virginia, and he in Charleston, she said, and he wants to sell it. Eddie and Freddie will get in the car and drive. He take a look at it. Business was booming. Eddie said, boy, that's a good thing to do. So before I knew it, we were moving. In 1953, it's August 14, we landed in Kanawha City. We stopped and saw a friend we Eddie knew. And then we come down here. He had rented the house next door. It was a nice house. We pay $60 every 2 weeks. And he got the restaurant over there. I walk from here to the restaurant.
What was the name of the restaurant?
Drive Under Service. See, the old man, Mr. Smiley, he had the cover from the airport. They changed it. It was like a cave on, and he made a restaurant out of it. The girls come to the window with the order. You bring the order to them. They take it to the cars. It's funny. Life is very funny. You have a lot of jokes and things happening, especially in the restaurant. We have the secretary, and anytime one of us leave, what do you want? I'm going out. He said, I want $1 million good-looking man.
Did that eventually become Kenny's restaurant? Is that
No,
what you called it?
Kenny came later. I don't know how he got on into that guy from Roanoke, and that guy was in business. We started Kenny's. We made good business, man. $80,000 a year. That wasn't a joke.
How many Kenny's restaurants did you all
We
have?
had 4. We have Dunbar, South Charleston, no 3. Dunbar, South Charleston, and Princeton. Princeton was the most profitable one. $15 a burger. But that was just 2 ounces of meat on a burger.
Was it 15 cents or $15?
15 cents. Yeah, 5 for $1. Anyhow, what got that is the sauce. I don't care what you eat, and if you don't have a sauce on it, it's still dry. And the prices were great. I mean, I still have the board downstairs. Yeah, it's still on the downstairs. When somebody come through the basement, said, boy, what our price? Look at the price now. Okay, they were black. You know, he was a very famous singer. I'll remember his name in a minute.
Ray Charles?
Okay. There were 12 of them. And they had a show in Charleston. I don't know who had them here. A Negro, nobody will feed them in town. The show's over with. Somebody told them, stop at Najar's. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and David was there with his father. I could see him now singing and playing. He played the trumpet, not the trumpet. Well, they came in. He said, Eddie, we're closing, but come on in. We had a small dining room. They came in, and Eddie made ribs for them, French fries and coleslaw, and rolls, and they sat down and enjoyed their dinner. And they ate, and they left. And I said, Eddie, you're late, honey. Guess who was at the restaurant? So-and-so.
Ben King.
Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong?
Louis Armstrong. He was great. I loved him. He was so good. He played in a movie one time, too. Eddie fed them, and it was but they didn't take a picture.
In all your time being here in America, what's been like the biggest surprise to you, or one of the things that stood out the most to you about life here?
I was shocked very much with a lot of things. The freedom, which there wasn't that much freedom then. Dating, dressing up, halfway naked. It wasn't bad those days. It's worse now. Even a grandmother go down with her breast hanging out. My next door neighbor, she used to walk out with shorts, and I thought she was going with something she's sleeping.
Are you familiar with the word Appalachia?
Yeah,
When I say that word, what do you think of when you hear Appalachia?
it's the mountains and the hill and the people lived in it.
You visited a lot of places in America and the world, but you still live in Appalachia. You still live
Yeah.
here.
Honey,
What do you like about it?
it's the atmosphere. People are very kind. We got used to it. We came here. I came here know nothing, and I grew up here. You gotta say, I was 19 years old when I came here. And-
How old are you now?
91 and 8 months.
How do you think of yourself? Do you see yourself as an American, or how do you see yourself now? Looking,
When I go to bed, I have dreams about home. Yeah. Next day when I get up, I'm an American, and I'm Lebanese American. I'm more American than any American in this country. Because I really appreciate this country. People are nice. We have a good country. Look what's going on in Lebanon now. I mean, those guys with their club came in and took over the country. We don't have a government. People going hungry. We don't have any electricity. They cut it off when they feel like it. And people have to hide in their home with the gun. The owner have to have a gun in his hand in case somebody come in and kill his family. You remember my eye doctor? They came and line up his family and kill every one of them, but let the mother go. That was in Haifa. His mother came and visited here. And I had her in the house here with his wife and the next Lebanese woman. He came here to the house and I had lunch for them. And country here is safe. You don't know what's ahead of you in life. We work hard and we did this. And what did we take with us? Just the family, what we have. Life is beautiful if you know how to live it.